Well, welcome back, everybody, and welcome to day 8 of the 12 Tech Tips of Christmas. I can't believe we're already up to day 8. All right, we have another fantastic tip that we are going to share with you today. We've got something that's probably going to help you out quite significantly, especially if you are a lover of AI. AI is part of our world now, and we are going to need to master this particular tool. And today, we're going to share some tips to help you actually become an absolute pro when it comes to one of these tools. And it's a tool that I like to use to help me in my day-to-day operations as a teacher. So let's dive into day 8 of the 12 Tech Tips of Christmas for 2025. All right, today we are going to explore something that you may have heard of. I hope you've heard of this, and it is ChatGPT. Now, ChatGPT just exploded into our world a few years ago, and it has continued to evolve ever since. It is definitely something that is part of my EdTech toolkit. It may be something that you are using in your day-to-day operations and role as a teacher, but I can tell you that it is something that can help you out significantly. And we've talked about it before here at Evolve EdTech. AI is an assistant. It's not there to replace you. So make sure that you are, if you're using AI and accessing AI within your role, that you are still checking it, you're clarifying, you're proofreading, making sure that it's contextually appropriate, because it's only an assistant, all right? It is not a teacher. It is there to help you become better at what you're doing already. So what is ChatGPT? So ChatGPT is an AI-powered tool that helps educators work smarter, faster, and more creatively. It generates text, ideas, explanations, resources, and feedback based on the prompts that you give it. So your prompting is what really sets the bar apart between a good response and a really bad, poor response. So you can do almost anything with ChatGPT. You just need to make sure that your prompt is perfect. Whether you're planning lessons, differentiating content, writing assessments, simplifying complex concepts, ChatGPT acts as a supportive teaching assistant that adapts to your needs. Look at that. It talks about being an assistant. Now, I just talked to you and told you about ChatGPT being your assistant. So think of it as your own personal assistant that you can go to help you become even more effective and efficient as an educator. All right, so ChatGPT is available 24/7. So you have access to this fantastic tool when you need it. It responds instantly, and it can be customized to your classroom, subject area, and student level. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go and have a look at some really great tips to help you make the most out of ChatGPT, because it is a fantastic tool if you know how to use it properly. All right. If you don't know how to use it properly, you're not going to get the best results. But if you know how to use it properly, it's going to be amazing. But first, let's have a look at some of the different ways how ChatGPT can help you as an educator. And when I use the term educator, I am referring to anybody that has some kind of role within education. Teachers, I'm talking about our support officers, I'm talking about our admin staff, because we all play a role within a student's education. We play different roles, but ChatGPT is absolutely something that is universal across all of those different roles. The first one here, streamlining planning and preparation. Yes, ChatGPT is great for this. You can quickly create lesson ideas, scaffolds, worksheets, criteria, questions. You can do anything basically that your mind can create to help you streamline your planning and preparation. It is so useful, especially if you need questions, if you need the differentiated types of questions. Okay, maybe you need some resources. So many things you can do to streamline that planning and preparation. All right, number 2, it can save time on admin and communication. So you can use ChatGPT to help you draft newsletters, Google Classroom posts, permission notes, emails, rubrics. I wrote an email this afternoon, and I actually got ChatGPT to rewrite it so that it actually sounded a little bit more informative and helpful. compared to what I wrote, and I can say what ChatGPT did was much better than what I did. I like to use a lot of words, a bit of a word waffle, but ChatGPT really refined it. So what I was expecting was nice and clear, and it was able to get to the point. So it can help you save time on communication as well as admin as well. Number 3, supporting differentiation and accessibility. Now, this is a great one. We know that we need to differentiate and support all the students in our classes, but sometimes that is really difficult and challenging. So ChatGPT can help us produce scaffolded, standard, and extension versions of tasks. We can adjust text complexity. We can support students who might be from a different language background to yours. We can look at our diverse learners. We can make sure that every student in our class is going to be able to access and complete the learning that you are going to be completing with them. Number 4, enhancing feedback and assessment. So you could generate formative comments. You might develop a comment bank based on your particular rubric or marking criteria. You can have model responses, which is also fantastic to be able to show your students. Marking guides, peer-to-peer feedback prompts. We can do so much to enhance that feedback and assessment cycle using ChatGPT. We can also spark creativity and promote engagement. So you might turn content into warm-up games, role plays, challenges, revision activities, digital escape rooms. This is something that is going to be part of the Tech Ready Teacher Digital Conference in 2026. We're going to have a look at digital escape rooms and using ChatGPT. So you might be able to take something that you're already doing, ask ChatGPT to change it into a role play or a challenge or a hypothetical type activity so that you could actually spark that creativity and promote engagement and discussion within your class. And our final reason how ChatGPT can help you as an educator is it can actually personalize learning experiences for students. So we can really tailor explanations. We can focus on those examples, those practice questions, those revision questions. We can really hone in on those and really focus on a particular skill or a particular question or concept that our students might need to continue to work on. So just there are just six different ways that ChatGPT can already help you as an educator, okay? Just 6 ways. I can tell you there are many, many, many more, all right? And that's just 6 ways to get you started. Remember, we're just dipping that toe into the ChatGPT pond and we're having a little look, but hopefully you're going to be in there swimming around, having a great time because you're going to become a ChatGPT expert. All right, so we're going to quickly share 10 tips with you. All right, now these are just nice, simple tips to help you make the most out of ChatGPT. Now, we don't fall out of the womb being able to write amazing ChatGPT prompts. These will take time. All right, I have definitely learned how to write a good prompt, and I can write a good prompt. But it's taken me time, and there's still times where my prompts don't necessarily give me the output that I'm looking for. So even I still struggle with what I would like ChatGPT to generate for me. So don't forget that sometimes it's okay. All right. If you don't get what you want first, it's okay. We just need to refine what we're asking it to do. And hopefully we will be able to get closer and closer and closer to what we are actually looking for. So let's dive in and have a look at 10 tips to help you make the most out of ChatGPT. Number 1, be specific with your prompts. This is the most important part. The more detail you provide, the more tailored the output becomes. So this is what I'm saying. We need to make sure that we have given ChatGPT as much information as possible so that it is able to do what we're hoping it to do. So you might include the year level, subject, curriculum focus, text type, the level of complexity used, etc. So the more information you add to that prompt is going to provide you a better response. So we've got an example just here. And again, we could continue to add more detail to this prompt to get an even better response. So our example is create a year 8 geography activity on erosion that includes a short explanation, a diagram prompt, and 3 comprehension questions. So we've got our year group, we've got our particular learning area, we've got our focus, which is erosion, And then we've really specified what we would like ChatGPT to generate with a short explanation, a diagram prompt, and then 3 comprehension questions, which is hopefully going to be focused on that particular text. So the more detailed, the more specific you are, the better the output is going to be. Let's head over to number 2. Give ChatGPT a clear role to play. Now, this is really important. By assigning a role, shapes the style and depth of the response. Ask ChatGPT to act as a marker, a curriculum designer, a literacy coach, or a differentiation specialist. So actually telling ChatGPT what their role is going to help the response and help them formulate something that's going to be appropriate. So our example just here is act as an English teacher and give formative feedback on this paragraph using plain language comments. So we're asking it to act as an English teacher. Obviously, we could refine this more by heading back to our first prompt here with the be specific by including the particular year group, the particular text. We could be really more specific, but really contextualizing and providing that clear role will help ChatGPT immensely. Number 3, provide models and examples for better accuracy. So ChatGPT works best when it can see the structure or style you want. Paste a sample paragraph, rubric, or scaffold and ask it to follow that format. This is something that I have done before. You might say, here's an example of a rubric. I would like it in this particular style. Here's my paragraph structure that we use in my particular context. I would like my paragraph structure in that particular way. One example that I have used it here at Evolve EdTech is when we were creating our framework for the Tech Ready Teacher Academy, we actually got ChatGPT to formulate the bases, and we actually popped in samples of different types of infographics and structures so that it was able to get a little bit of an idea of what we were looking for. So making sure that we have that model of those examples can really help ChatGPT. All right, our example just here is use the structure of this sealed paragraph to create a new example based on the Hunger Games. So we're telling it that this is the structure we use for our paragraphs in my context. I would like you to use that structure to generate a paragraph as an example on the Hunger Games using this structure here. So providing that model, providing that example is going to help you get better accuracy, better results, and obviously it's going to be much, much more efficient for you as an educator. Number 4, use ChatGPT to refine your existing content. So just literally head over to whatever you've got, paste that text that you've already written, your lesson plans, your instructions, your emails, your rubrics, and ask ChatGPT to improve clarity, fix repetition, simplify language, strengthen explanations, etc. So for example, you might ask it to rewrite this Google Classroom post so it's clearer and more student friendly. As I mentioned earlier, this is great if you're looking at an email, you want to send an email to a parent, and maybe you feel like you've written a big essay. You might ask ChatGPT to refine this so it's more accessible for parents or a particular reading age or context or group, etc. So getting ChatGPT to explore what you've already done and to clarify, avoid repetition, simplify is going to make things so much easier for you, because we know as educators that we're time poor. We have a lot of things that we need to do, and this is one thing that we can take off our plate that we can use ChatGPT for. Number 5, treat ChatGPT as a collaborator. Now, we've talked about this already. Okay, ChatGPT is an assistant. So don't accept the first version. Ask for alternatives, different tones, simpler language, or even more depth. Each refinement gets you closer to what you want. So I use ChatGPT to help me get things started, and it will often give me something and it's good, but I might go, ChatGPT, I would prefer this to be longer, because it might only give me one sentence where I want a couple of sentences. You literally pop that in, it does its thing, and then you've got something that is more relevant or closer to what you are actually looking for. So every time you ask ChatGPT to refine something, it gets better and better and better and closer to what you're looking for. All right, so our example here is we could just say add beginner, intermediate, and extension options to this activity. So maybe we've got it to generate a piece of text with some questions, and now we just want some simple beginner questions, intermediate for the majority of our class, and maybe some extension options there as well. So ChatGPT can be a fantastic collaborator, which can save you time and make you more efficient and effective, because we need to make sure that we are using our time wisely, and ChatGPT can help us with that. Number 6, differentiate quickly for diverse learners. This is a fantastic one, and this was one that came up in one of those different ways that we could use ChatGPT in the classroom. So ChatGPT can create tiered versions of any task, adjust reading levels, add scaffolds, or provide extension challenges, all from the same prompt. So you don't actually have to create new prompts. We can use what we've already started with, and we literally just continue to add and refine with what we're doing in that particular chat. So you might say, create 3 versions of this task: a scaffolded version, a standard version, and an extension version. Super simple. And there you are. You are differentiating for every student in your class, and we're doing it in a way that is efficient and effective. It's not taking you hours and hours and hours of sitting there doing it yourself. We're just going to get ChatGPT to generate it. We're going to review it, make sure it's right, tweak it a little bit, and then whammo, we've got a differentiated task that we can use with our students today. Number 7, build prompt templates to streamline your workflow. You could save time by creating reusable prompts for common tasks: marking, lesson plans, Google Classroom announcements, rubrics, debate topics, feedback statements, etc. Now, this is not a bad suggestion. Creating a bit of a prompt bank using a Google Docs document or something like that could be something that's really great. I've been using ChatGPT for a while now, so I don't actually create my own prompt bank, because I can create a prompt and get something that I'm looking for quite easily, because it's just natural to me now. But you might create a prompt such as generate 10 reusable prompts for providing specific strengths-based feedback on student essays. So we're just getting some statements that we could use with our students that we could reuse. So obviously we could add more to this with what particular year group, what particular topic, text, etc. So building that prompt template library could also be really useful for you. Number 8, align lessons and assessment to syllabus outcomes. This is fantastic. So paste in your outcomes, your standards, whatever you use, wherever you are, into your ChatGPT, and paste those outcomes and learning intentions, and then get ChatGPT to check alignment, make suggestions to improve it. This is perfect. This is so useful if you're creating something for the very first time, or you've got some kind of new syllabus being implemented. ChatGPT can be very handy here. So this is perfect for planning units, tasks, and assessments. So aligning those lessons and assessments to your specific location, syllabus, standards, outcomes, whatever you're doing, is so simple when you're using ChatGPT as an assistant. An example here are the New South Wales Stage 5 English outcomes. Does this assessment task align? Suggest changes if needed. All right, so we're talking about New South Wales, and that's where I teach. Stage 5. Stage 5 are our year 9 and 10 students. We've got our subject area, which is English, and then we've got maybe a draft assessment. Here are the particular outcomes that we want to assess. Does this assessment actually assess those outcomes? What's it going to provide us? What changes do we need to make? What do we need to do? What feedback is it going to give us to help us make and create a wonderful assessment task where our students are going to shine? So looking at how we can align those lessons and assessments to syllabus outcomes is something that we can do with ChatGPT. Number 9, repurpose content into multiple teaching formats. That's right. So we can turn a single piece of content, like a text extract, a video clip, a concept, into multiple teaching formats. So we might have quizzes, role plays, discussion starters, writing tasks, revision summaries. We can get ChatGPT to do this. No longer are you going to have to sit there and actually do this yourself. We can ask ChatGPT to save us a truckload of time and look at some of this ourselves. So for example, we might say, turn this 150-word text into a multiple choice quiz, a short answer task, and a warm-up question. So you can actually get ChatGPT to do some of this work for you. Again, just remember, you'll need to go and revise, make sure that it's correct, make sure it hasn't done something funny. So you are still responsible for checking the output from ChatGPT, but ChatGPT is just helping you by actually doing this for you nice and quickly so that you can work and focus on other things that are going to make teaching and learning even more amazing in your classroom. Let's head to our very last tip, number 10, save time on admin and communication tasks. We always love to save time as teachers, and ChatGPT is definitely one tool that can help us. So use ChatGPT to draft permission notes, emails, learning goals, rubrics, Google Classroom posts, newsletters, scripts, basically anything that you need. We've talked about this a few times already in this particular video, but ChatGPT can help us save time on those admin and communication tasks. So for example, you might ask ChatGPT to draft a short permission note for a Year 7 local excursion written in a professional but friendly tone. Obviously, we need to make sure that we're meeting our school, our local policies, whatever we're focused on when it comes to an excursion. But you could use ChatGPT to write your blurb or some kind of context that you can use to create a really fantastic permission note that your students and your parents are going to understand, and they're going to actually go, wow, this sounds like a fantastic opportunity. So there we go. There are just 10 reasons why we can use ChatGPT in our day-to-day role as educators. There are so many things that we can do with it, and it's all about making sure that we have a really explicit, specific prompt. We're contextualizing, we're making sure that we are giving it all the information that it requires so that it gives us something back, which is going to be fantastic. What I do want to mention is our free workshop, Say It Right, Get It Right, how to prompt ChatGPT like an expert. This was one of our free workshops in 2025, and I highly suggest that if you didn't see this or you weren't part of it, that you actually go and register and access the workshop right now, because it is a great one to help you go from zero to hero with ChatGPT and prompting. So exploring some of those different reasons, some of those different things that we need to do to make sure that we have a fantastic prompt so that the output is exactly what we're looking for. So if you'd like to go and check out that workshop, just head over to evolveedtech.com/free stuff, and you can access that workshop recording right now. All right, there we go. That is day number 8 of the 12 tech tips of Christmas. Thank you so much for joining us for day 8. We've got 4 more days to go. I can't believe we're almost at the end of our 2025 season. If you haven't checked out our previous episodes, make sure you do that. If you haven't subscribed to the Evolved EdTech YouTube channel, also make sure that you do that, because that's going to help other people find us so that we can connect with them to help them have fun with EdTech in the classroom. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. But thank you so much for joining us. My name is Tristan Heron. I am the Future Ready Teaching Specialist here at Evolve EdTech. Thank you for joining us for day 8, and we will catch you again tomorrow for day 9 of the 12 tech tips of Christmas for 2025. Until then, everybody, stay safe, and we'll see you again tomorrow.